Today we are going to be reviewing the new April Fool's update in Military Tycoon. If we head over here, we can see that I grinded for all the items you get from this event. Most notably, you get the TV Juggernaut, the TV Tank, and most importantly, the shopping cart. And I'm going to review them all for you. First of all, we're going to be looking at the TV Tank, which has some really high damage, pretty okay HP, and some good speed. Next up, we got the shopping cart, which has some really high damage, very low HP, but very high speed. And last, but certainly not least, we have the TV Juggernaut. One of the most overpowered troops in the game. His weapon is so good. We're going to start here first by looking at the TV Tank. This was initially last year's April Fool's final reward, but they ended up bringing it back. The TV Tank is a very well-rounded tank. It has a good amount of health. Its weapon does more damage to vehicles than players, and it's pretty fast. In the clip, you can also see the TV Juggernaut doing a lot of damage to the boss. Like I said before, this thing is a really fast tank. Its weapon also does more damage to vehicles. You can see right here, I just one-shot the Jeep. In most cases, you're going to be fighting against vehicles, so that's going to be helpful. Here's another example of how powerful the weapon on the TV Tank is. It just destroyed these helicopters. Now we're going to take a look at the shopping cart. This one is brand new and was not in last year's update. To be honest with the shopping cart, I was a little bit disappointed, not only by how bad the weapon was, but how little health it had. As you guys can see right there, this thing has no health. It is pretty fast though and fun to drive, but once you hit a certain speed, it gets really hard to control where you're going. Now the minigun that's on this isn't that good, but it's not terrible. It still does a decent amount of damage, but for 50,000 points and grinding 2 hours for this, it was not worth it. Here's another example of how hard it is to control when you reach that top speed. But again, this could be useful if you're trying to dodge your opponent when he's shooting at you. Overall, I'd say the shopping cart is not at all worth it. But I think you should grind for the TV Tank and the TV Juggernaut.